Hey everybody, this is Disclosure Now. Today we're with Third Eye Tribe. Obviously this is Ryn Aphelion, my lady friend, my partner, and we're gonna be talking about the Epstein files today. Some new information in these files. I mean, the big smoking gun here is there's a lot of stuff to go into as far as everything that's been kind of covered here. But the big thing here is so here's an email to Jeffrey E.
This is between Jeffrey Epstein and his brother, Mark.
And I'd rather be in Donnie T's shoes. You mean Donnie T? And you and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard.
Jeez.
And I thought I had. And then Jeffrey Epstein says, I thought I had Sears. And then ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba.
We all know who Bubba
And
is.
Bubba is Bill Clinton.
Yep.
And all good. Bannon with me, he says. So that means Steve Bannon. How are you doing? A while back you mentioned that you're pre-diabetic. Has anything would change with that? What's your boy Donald up to now? So pre-diabetic, I have a feeling doesn't mean. I have a feeling they're talking in codes here.
I was gonna say they're talking in lingo codes because that sounds like a teenager's writing back and forth. So that definitely means shit's code. They're coding stuff with all those names.
Diabetic, sweetness, sweet tooth.
Yeah, all that's code.
I have a feeling that like it's code for some sort of like probably maybe underage girls or something.
Yeah,
or I don't know.
Right.
Anyway, so that's some of the information that's been shared. You know, it's in the thumbnail of this, and people can look into it. There's a picture of Bill Clinton, wearing a dress, going pointing like this, and Jeffrey Epstein had it in his home, and it's really kind of like a. I hate to be so crass with my words that I don't know how else to say it. It's kind of like this political dick measuring thing. It's not. It's like, hey, I've got this picture of you fucking in my apartment. Like, I feel like that's just like a way of him being like. It's like holding something over him to do that. If it seems like almost like to me.
It is. And they try to do it in a funny way. So like if other people don't get what's going on, if they're not understanding how blackmail works, especially inside or the industry and then politics, they do that purposely. Like so, people would look at that and be like, "Ah, well, I probably bet that was a real painting, honestly, or a real picture."
It is.
And then
it's been like certified as a real painting. The person who painted it has even done interviews about it. Because he got hired to paint that.
Yep. See.
So it's very real. One thing that I really want to bring up here with this is like, MAGA is a highest level in the Church of Satan. There's Magus and then there's MAGA. And it's the wearing the hat on the head, the red hat with the MAGA there. It's a sigil.
I figured that because MAGA, that looks like, do you know CIA and people don't understand acronyms? I was like, what does MAGA mean? It's like an inside joke, but I don't pay attention to politics. So I could see how it's a sigil, symbolic, like everything they do.
And it's talked about in the Book of Revelations, how they'll wear this mark on their foreheads and all this stuff, you know. So I wonder if that's what it's talking about. But it, you know, Alondra Markman has seen Trump at satanic rituals. I did a co-presentation with Alondra Markman at the 2024 Full Disclosure Now conference. And yeah, I believe Alondra, obviously, that he saw that, and I do believe that Trump is a Satanist. And there's like all this stuff like about like he's been replaced and he's been cloned, and there's all these different versions of him. That seems like kind of like Q kind of like disinformation to me, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I'm not saying I know everything. They do this stuff where they swap people out and replace people. I remember doing it. I've talked about how I remember we did it to Richie Vallee, the recording artist and singer.
Yeah,
we fucking swapped him out with his own clone that was more programmed because he wasn't listening to us. So we do that kind of stuff. or they do that kind of stuff, I should say, because I don't want to try not to affiliate with these people anymore. Obviously, I have this YouTube channel. I'm going against them now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to show a video, something that's really disturbing to me that I remember that is really, really hard for me to talk about. And I've been talking more and more about it, is in this world of like these elite Illuminati people, they are incestual with their own children, ritualistically. They believe that for your first time to be with a stranger is wrong, and all fucking very weird, very fucked up. And I've been in that world, and you're talking about the Hillary Clinton Foundation, right? You want to go into that a little bit?
I didn't know it was the Hillary Clinton Foundation. It's so funny because when I think of Bill Clinton, I never think of Hillary Clinton, even though they have the last names. But
I think it's just the Clinton Foundation. They're both involved, actually.
Yeah. So what I was just getting at, and I just came up with I was like, I know Bill Clinton was like one who had it. So, and Hillary Clinton, we all know frazzle drip. Like, I mean, please do your homework and everything. But so I found out like, and this is called like Cornelian law, or something like that. So they put things in front of your face, or they'll do things actually just to joke around, or just to hold something above somebody's head in most sadistic ways. So they'll have a charity. So if somebody like has slaves, black slaves, or any type of slaves, child slaves, what they would do is like they would put in to a charity that is helping Africa, and then they'll even like broadcast, hey, I'm donating to a charity in Africa, or I'm donating to charity somewhere else, but actually they're involved in the most heinous crimes against that specific person. So it's almost like them broadcasting, hey, I'm helping them, and simultaneously like telling us like, yeah, I'm also the one
verified insider testimony that can attribute to exactly what you're saying. The Clinton Foundation was very heavily connected to Haiti and things that were happening in Haiti. And they were working alongside the Catholic Church, because the Catholic Church is one of these charitable organizations that comes in and abuses children and does just absolutely heinous things underneath the guise, the ritual spell of charity work.
And Oprah.
And they were working together. This was more or less prevented, and I don't think it occurred in this timeline because we threatened them. I think they started it up and we made them stop. They were using hurricane that were hitting Haiti, which is weather warfare, I'm pretty sure, too. Like, they weren't natural hurricanes. And they were using the aftermath and the chaos and destruction to kidnap people and turn them into cyborgs to slaves, cyborg slaves.
Yep.
And we actually intervened post Reign of Terror, post Montauk Reign of Terror. We actually intervened and like stopped that whole thing, that whole operation from happening. We even like threatened the Pope and stuff like that. We went to the Vatican and threatened the Pope. We portaled in there, and we had to like kill some people that were close to him to get him to take us seriously and listen to us, because he wasn't listening to us. I've talked about it before in the past in other interviews. You're talking about how the Clinton Foundation does that. You know, there's another thing that I'm going to be bringing up and talking about. Janie's Got a Gun. This is going to seem off subject, but it is on subject. That's a Montauk song. It's about a time mission. Janie's my daughter. And that song was not written by Aerosmith. And the guy from Aerosmith, Steven Tyler, is like, it's come out like he was out sleeping with many underage girls, and doing all this messed up stuff. There's a story about how he started there was even an arson and a baby who died and all this stuff like that. And then he's being sued right now by a girl that he adopted when she was 16. I think her name is Julia Holcomb, and basically like to take her across state lines, and even wrote about it in his book and everything like that. And so she took him to court. And well, anyway, he's got a foundation called Janie's Foundation.
That's fucked.
So there's a pedophile that has a foundation in the name of my daughter, who is probably trafficking children
And you know they do that purposely to you.
Like through the foundation he named after my daughter. And the song is like a humiliation ritual for me because I was this Illuminati family guy, and I'll get into it. I'm gonna talk about it on Aquarius Rising Africa probably, because it's really hard to talk about it. I just want to talk about it one time, one show. That's it. Don't want to talk about it a million times. It's gonna be too hard to talk about. But yeah, I know from personal experience that they do all this stuff where they have these foundations.
Yeah, there's a pattern. Look at like Ashton Kutcher with Thorne, and he was besties with P. Diddy. And there's this documentary from the 80s that I watched on YouTube. It was about and I'm sure this lady, she seemed like nice and like well intentioned and stuff, but she was like, there was this like rich Beverly Hills lady who ran this this charity called Children of the Night, and it was supposed to help like teenage girls who were victims of trafficking.
What?
And guess who one of their biggest donors was? It was fucking Hugh Hefner. And we all know all the shit that he's gotten into. So there seems to be a pattern with setting up these foundations as probably a front for more nefarious activities.
And I can also say too, like with the psychiatric institutions, more so in the UK. I don't know whether or not it's that way here, but I can only imagine. It's public knowledge that who's the skeezy pedo fucking Englishman guy?
Jimmy Savile.
Yeah, Jimmy Savile. He was abusing girls in those hospitals.
Yep.
And something that's really messed up, I haven't talked about it for a long time. This was years, but I've talked about it before. They would let us portal in there and abuse those girls, the Montauk boys.
Mm-hmm.
It'd like be like, and I actually remember there was actually one who ended up like liking me. She waited for me to come to her, and I remember falling asleep next to her and then waking up to some woman wondering how the fuck I was in there and like screaming at me. Because I fell asleep next to her like an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jimmy Savile is connected to Project Ibis, the Montauk Project. He knew Aleister Crowley and the Bushes and all this crazy stuff. The memories are a little bit blurry, and a lot of it I'm drawing from other people's testimony, like Christy Campbell and stuff like that. But
you're saying all the right things, because Aleister Crowley's was related to, he was like the grandson. Well, Bush was a grandson of Aleister Crowley. That's from what I understand.
Really?
Yeah, they're related. And then we already know all of these presidents are related. Even Barack Obama. There's a little girl who like did this whole thing about all the presidents quite literally have the same DNA. And I was like, even Barack Obama, we used to joke around as kids, like, oh, he was like made in a test tube, da da da. Like, I knew whenever he became president, and I'm mixed. So I'll speak from a black aspect and a white aspect. I knew whenever they made him president, that was just to pacify black people. Like, that's when Tupac said we need a black president, that's not what, that is not the fuck what we meant at all. And I feel like that was a fever dream. Because I was like,
very much so. Like he had very great message when he ran, and then
change.
he delivered none of it.
Change and hope.
Yeah, like, he didn't do any of it.
Well, we did get gay marriage. To be
fair. we got gay marriage, but he was it's like the Trump people get some of the stuff they want under Trump. He was like the Trump of the left.
That's what
he didn't do any of the things he said he was gonna do. He broke fucking every promise he made, and not only that, went against things that he said he was going to do. He did more deportations than any other president until Trump. All sorts of stuff, and he got all these excuses because they psyoped really well.
Yeah,
put him in after Bush, and he looked like, because George W. Bush was kind of an idiot. You know, he looked smart. And then what did they do with Trump? Same thing, but different end of the coin. They had Biden, who looked real stupid, kind of like he didn't know what's going on. And then even though Trump is a bit of an idiot too, he does look a lot smarter than Biden.
Yeah, but the way they talk is, and I told somebody I was watching Biden talk, and I was joking because there's this dude who can do impersonations, and my one friend can do an impersonation of Bush, Biden, and fucking Trump, and I'm like, how does that happen? He's like, it's really easy. Like when you do impersonations, they're a lot like the same character, and I was like, like listening to Biden. I was like, yeah, dude, because this sounds like whenever like he's just like the way he talks is just so like a child. I was like, I don't even know how that even happened and how people thought he was running anything because he quite literally does not seem there. And then and then I feel like I don't feel like they switched out Trump. I quite literally feel like he got in the position and he's pretty much possibly the face more of it, and he just doesn't give a fuck now that he's in office. So even the stuff that he's coming out of his mouth doesn't make sense, and I'm sure he's being like scrambled.
I mean, yeah, they say about the third term, he's probably going to try to run for a third term. Steve Bannon has implicitly said he's going to run for a third term. He's going to have a third term. But we'll see what happens with that. One of the things I just want to point out here, because we're talking about this sexual blackmail aspect, all this stuff is how they treat their children, the Illuminati. And I would classify Trump as the Illuminati. To me, it's a blanket term for just the elite, the people who are rich and know the secrets. It's not an actual group. There was a group out of Bavaria called the Illuminati.
Yeah,
maybe it still exists or whatever, but I feel like it's kind of like how people call Project Phoenix 2 the Montauk Project. It's just what people call a thing. It's more of like a pop culture term than anything else. So I want to be clear about that. But yeah, if you're using that kind of pop culture outlook of what the Illuminati is, like how the common person kind of views what the Illuminati is, yeah, Donald Trump's a part of that. He participates in occult satanic rituals. He abused his own daughter. And I'm going to show a video, and I just want to say, viewer discretion advised. This is going to be pretty hard to watch. And just to let you know, guys, I am not looking at the comments yet. Hey, Bill,
I didn't even know. Wait, we're live.
Really appreciate the thing. I'm going to go to questions at the end. I have ADHD, so if I leave the comments up on the side, it makes it. I'm bad at doing my show, so I
thank you, Bill. I did not know we were live, and I just want to say too, the Illuminati. That's just like you said. It's just like the label that
we're live. Yeah, we're live.
Okay, but also I just want to say the Illuminati. Okay, so we have the Skull and Bones. And all of those types of societies. What else was there? They say the Knights Templar, but that I think like that was twisted. Those, and then Skull and Bones is related to fraternities, and I think Bush
Knights of Templar, and I think the Masons even weren't always evil, but they got infiltrated by evil.
Mm-hmm. And there's a few of those that's how you connect better than just saying the Illuminati. But we're talking about probably the 1%, 13 bloodlines, 13 families, whatever people want to say that it is, pretty much down to the gist of it. So
yeah, I got this video. Kat told me about it. I have not watched it yet. This is one of the first time I watch it. It's a tour of Ivanka's room.
Yeah, and you can just see the moment where like she like has a trauma response and like disassociates when she gets to her bed.
So we're gonna look at this and just kind of
yeah.
Okay, this is a room that nobody's probably walked into for the past 10 plus years. It's a little time capsule, if you notice by the Madonna clock and my interesting attempt at color painting, the homage to Poison and Motley Crue, the 90210 posters, little, I think they were trading cards that were stickers, and the Bon Jovi sort of wall. This was my bed. It's a little small for me now. Probably why I don't stay in here anymore, but yeah.
And what floor are we on?
We are on the 68th floor. Not a bad view to wake up to. I was going to school one day and I saw in one of the news boxes a huge picture of plus years. It's a little time capsule. Probably why I don't sort of wall. This was my bed. It's a little small for me now. Probably why I don't stay in here anymore, but yeah.
Fidgeting.
And what floor are we on?
We are on the 68th floor.
Something about the way she says we are on the 68th floor seems like strange to me. I don't know.
Oh, she dissociates right there. She starts fidgeting with her fingers. Yeah. She looks at the bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, and then I feel like whenever she looks at the bed, also when she turned to like, because whenever you're dealing with somebody on the bed, obviously, what are you going to look at to the left? That would be like, so when she talked about the windows and the view, that probably, she was probably flashing back to like
Yeah.
anything she's went through, because she
Probably.
dissociated there, slowed
Yeah.
down her talk, everything. So
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
really, really, really sad. You can
There's a
feel that
lot of
energy.
disturbing photos of her with Trump and Epstein and stuff like that. And yeah, I just really think that it's kind of gotten pretty obvious at this point, like I said, that they are using sexual blackmail to control like everybody. And I don't even have to name names or be talking about anyone in particular specifically when I say this. That's how fucking bad of a problem it is in the truther community, where like I'm literally not even talking about anyone specific when I say that it's a common problem even within the truther community. People who speak at conferences and things like that. You know, I've talked about how coincidentally enough at the 2024 Full Disclosure Now conference, there was a swingers convention going on at the same time, and Brian acted all clueless about it. I think there's some weird stuff going on within the truther community where this thing that's going on in the macrocosm, the bigger world stage that's more public, that more people are aware of, is also happening on the microcosm of like the truther world and stuff like that, where people are getting blackmailed. And some people, I think they genuinely believe in like the Trump message and stuff like that. Like I'll even say, like, I think James Rink genuinely just is a hopeful person who's been maybe programmed to be really patriotic and stuff and believe in the whole Q psyop. Like I think he just genuinely believes it. But there are certain people, and I'm not going to name names, and I'm not even going to say I'm for sure. I just have a hunch that there's people who are literally, they've been blackmailed. They're compromised, man.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. I mean, there's signs of it everywhere, and I just want people to understand. I live in a small town, Altoona, Pennsylvania, and there's I like the last boy I dated. His incest is on both sides of his family. I had to find that out. It was very hard to work with him, and he was younger than me, but he quite literally is turning to pedophilia. He's over 18 and he'll prey on girls who are younger than 18. That's all I need to say. Like, you know what I mean? And when you do it repeatedly, especially after dating somebody older, you can see where they revert back to that. So he's just an example of how this and then there's a lot of everyone sleeping with everyone, like constant, like, you know, incestuous things. And I'm talking about even on a larger scale. This is everywhere. I grew up with two friends who were sleeping with family members. I myself was touched by one of my family members whenever I was young, but that's called child on child, you know, sexual abuse, which is way different than like an adult child, like, because child on child sexual abuse, it's not that it doesn't count, but your children then. And I even understood that then what was happening. So this is the whole grooming thing, because they'll groom them down. Like it's like the people are groomed. It's like politicians are groomed. We're on Stockholm syndrome. Like our parents are groomed, and then they're grooming their kids. And then the kids are also grooming people in school. They're grooming online, and they're grooming even younger generations. It's like they literally set up the system to fractalize down to grooming at the most basic core, or pedophilia. It's like this is what it's all built off of, like pedophilia, grooming, and this sexual exploitation. Not only that, but what would be degradation of women too.
Yeah.
I just want to say that a lot. Like they really, really, I don't even know what they're doing, but they wanted to get rid of like the feminine aspect of something, but it's all like twisted around. I don't know. It's very weird, and it seems ritualistic, inverted, and it's been like this since I was born. Like, and that room, by the way, I wanted to say it. Like I'm remembering a few things that were inside that room. That all that shit is, and like we talk about MK Ultra or Montauk, we know that they take none of them. That music, I believe, that's made from them is actually made from those people. I think it's all made from people in the programs like you know what I mean? So like being surrounded by some of that stuff, I forget some of those people. I knew that they were in rituals. Like some of the things she had in there, I was like, Madonna. She said a Madonna clock, and I was like,
Poison, like all the
mhm.
hair metal bands.
Yep. And I was like, well, that's just being surrounded. I mean, this is what these kids go through, being born into this, and then they're surrounded by, and they think like it's glorious and stuff. So that's grooming too, because they literally are born in the system and they think it's normal. Like, and if people don't understand what that looks like, for it's a cult. Like these people quite literally don't know, especially when it's done at a very young age. they're like, oh, I don't even know I'm doing something bad. And I'm like, yeah, that's where we need to rehabilitate. Like, it'd be, yeah, kill pedophiles, cool. We have to like rehabilitate some of these people too, because it's sick out here, and it's not only affecting politicians, it's affecting even like small hometowns. And I don't know if like you guys know much about your town and what goes on there, but I know this shit still goes down. I know
Yeah,
people cross dress
it's
and
not like
blackmail.
it's not just like billionaires doing this kind of stuff.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Well, like I was saying this to Ark before. Like my analysis of the situation is like at the all like Trump, Ghislaine, Bill Clinton, and like everyone in their sphere, they're like all obsessed with sex, and they want to have like the type of sex that like your average Joe can't get away with, right? So like your average Joe, if he fucks a 15-year-old, he's going to go to jail if he gets caught. Hopefully, you know, it's more likely that he's going to go to jail than some powerful person. And we have like our society is very like pedophilic. So there's like my analysis of the whole like Trump blowing Clinton thing is like our society is very pedophilic, and you see it right now. Like people are already like making excuses for like Trump having sex with underage people. And I think in a lot of people's minds, there's like a lot of disgusting men out there who could sort of like excuse that or somehow make it okay in their mind. But like Trump and Epstein doing sexual stuff, Trump, Epstein, and Bill Clinton like doing sexual stuff with each other, it's like that. It's like, oh no, that makes you less masculine. That makes you less of a man. That completely obliterates this image that you've built for yourself. So they are fucking desperate. They're clawing tooth and nail to not let
I don't
that
know if
get
this
out.
is off subject or not, but it reminds me too of the aspect where like when Preston Nichols and Al Bielek and stuff, the Montauk guys from the late 1990s, the first people that came out about the project, would talk about the sexual abuse of children that occurred there. It's kind of insane. Like Preston like admitted that aspect in his own book, and then went around and spoke at like conferences and stuff, and like he wasn't even like apologetic about it or anything, and he wasn't like upfront about it. Like I try to be really upfront about that aspect of things and how I was forced to participate in it and all that stuff. But he really kind of whitewashed it in as much as he could while still talking about it in a weird way. And one of the ways that he whitewashed it is if you look into the old Montauk stuff, they always say the Montauk boys this, Montauk boys that, Montauk boys. They act as if there were no girls there.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is there were girls there, and there were girls being abused in the same way that the boys were being abused, if not worse.
Mm-hmm.
And if they would have talked about that, that would have raised too many alarms. So there's this like mentality that like if you get by society at large, that like if you get abused as a boy, as a man, even if you're a child,
Yep,
like your fault or something.
yeah, that's literally what is ingrained, and that's the thing like I hate dealing with the most. Like, and women will get mad at me whenever I say I do want to focus on men's mental health,
They do
because
that to women too, though.
yeah 100%, but like what we're talking about is like men doing this to other men to degrade those men to control them. Like that most basic simplest, that's how we can put it. And then we're adding pedophilia, we're adding money, which when somebody has enough money, they get bored. They get so fucking bored quick because they can do whatever they want. So what's the first thing that they're going to do? And when we talk about child trafficking and stuff, I don't know if people understand. Look up the statistics. I don't think I sent them to you, but majority of child traffickers or higher up pimps are women. I don't know if anybody knows that, but I think it's
the
24
trust aspect.
20. Yeah, it's because of a girl who's going to trust someone more like to groom them. We have to have girls grooming these other girls into like, and then they'll groom younger girls, and then they'll have even younger girls at like 14 grooming the 9-year-olds, and like it's just this like constant like fucking cycle of this self-eating serpent. It's actually insane, and it's at every level that we can think of. Like every day we have A14 pedophiles who go around and quite literally like somebody will act like they're a young boy or girl, And then they're meeting up with these people, and they're like, there's people who really aren't playing about this stuff anymore, and they're like taking their own civilian action on it, and yeah, so it's a problem, and I feel like this whole, I'm not saying like all this is for attention and stuff, but I knew something was gonna drop, something to get shit mixed up. I'm just saying I want the Epstein list. Like I don't even know what we're talking about because I want the list, and I know Stephen Hawking was one of the first people named, and I don't understand that. Like somebody had to push that dude.
The crazy
in
part
there.
about it is like he's got a whole underground operation there on that island, a whole underground base that goes down many levels. I forget how many. And I know I've been there. The memories aren't very good, probably because it's just doing fucked up shit. And I don't want to remember it, but I'm fairly certain that I actually did know Epstein in the programs. He's
I'm
an
sure.
alligator. He's an alligator person.
Oh, and
He's like
did you
not
know?
human.
And I can see that actually. He does kind of, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and
he just stretch his face out a
his
little bit.
skull is insane. Like I just want to see what his skull looks like without all the flesh, because it quite literally is crazy. But I think, and somebody might have to check this, but if I'm remembering right, and I knew there's tunnels under PA, by the way, anyway, but under Diddy's mansion, which I think Diddy's mansion, nobody mentioned this, was Hugh Hefner's mansion.
Really?
Yeah. And then they lived wherever they lived, it was right down the street from Oprah.
Oh yeah,
Or so, they all live on, like, it's like all of them. Like, what the fuck? We would have to check that out. But from what I remember is I did some research and I was like, bro, he's literally in Hugh Hefner's. He probably had a bunch of different places, but he's in one of Hugh Hefner's buildings, and he glorifies that. Diddy loved that. Obviously, why? Because of fucking Hugh Hefner and all the shit he was involved in. I know he's on the Epstein list too.
Yeah, it's weird, man. And like, so here's an interesting psychological phenomenon that I really want to examine right now here while we're talking about this, and that's the vilification of gay men by the Illuminati, by the controllers, and basically the way they've tried to like erase gay men from the public sphere, but yet they're still there. Like, and this is kind of going off the rails, but like the AIDS epidemic was obviously everyone knows that was created, and that was to target gay men.
Oh,
and
well,
fucking Ronald Reagan didn't do anything about it.
Well, that's not the only thing. I can speak from the Black community and the whole AIDS thing. I don't know if anybody knows of the syphilis experiment, but if anybody knows, like, also about how they make Black men dress like in dresses, I always say, and it's not to like talk shit on Black people at all, because we're all slaves. But I know when like Jay-Z is a perfect example. When somebody is and he has a fucking Rockefeller or something, I think is one of his like designer names. But like whenever you see somebody of color, especially that is higher up, I promise they're slaves and they're getting buck breaked. And if you know what buck breaking is, that means they're bending over for that position. People have to bend over for certain positions, and that's what they do. And
we're finding out that like with like Diddy, he was the names are gonna escape me, but there was a white music mogul that basically built his career, made Diddy's career, and now it's coming out that they were fucking, and it's like, so
him and Biggie were fucking.
Yeah,
I don't know. It wasn't Clive Davis.
I think it was Clyde Davis. Yeah.
Of course it was. Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah, and it's just like what it is like there's this reality of like gayness, gay men. I think that's just like, or like bi men liking other men.
Mm-hmm.
It's become pretty apparent now in this day and age. Like, man, like every other girl I know is like, oh yeah, I like girls. Let's do stuff with another girl, because society doesn't look down on that.
Mm-hmm.
Men,
no, like, yeah, it's because it's
because guys like it, but like if you're,
there's like
men, then like that's like a not cool to say out loud. So I feel like it's hidden more, but yet it's like just as common.
Yep.
I think it's just not being talked about, and like it's the whole blackmail thing. Like, because I personally, my last two men that I dated were down low. They didn't like me. This is really hard for people to hear. They had me for who they could attract, other men that they could attract. So I was like a charm they wore, especially being Black. People will wear me as a charm, and they were DL. They liked men, and also I'm masculine in my energy, so they like. And that'll get them confused because like I can keep a man that's D out, like, but I have to be in my masculine energy and stuff. It's like it's this crazy dynamic because feminine energy, masculine energy, and people make it more difficult than it has to fucking be. I feel like, how about we all say that we were in the womb whenever we're quite literally forming, we're all female before we're male. Like from what I understand, and I just think everybody needs to open up with the fact that maybe we're all just a little bit bisexual, I think, and a lot of men will say that, and I've heard one person, I won't say their name, in the community especially, he said, I think almost more than, like almost 90% of the men on earth are gay, or they're bisexual. I'm not gonna say they're gay, so, but aren't girls then? Because I've had girlfriends who, they swear they're bisexual, but they always are after men. And I'm just like, that's fake bisexual. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of those things it's weird. It's the male aspect and the girls can do it. And then they're doing the trans
Well, I
thing.
can just say from my perspective, being on other planets, and other people have talked about this before too. I'm not the only one. STDs aren't really like a thing. Like when you have like some of these planets where the technology is really advanced and stuff, and people just kind of fuck each other way more because there's not that barrier there where like you have to have this fear of that maybe getting an STD or whatever that you'll never be able to get rid of.
Well, not only that, I've heard of literally groups of extraterrestrials who people say it takes a village to raise a child. I heard, and I think it's Jason Rice, he was talking about all these beautiful ETs and like they're couples who get together with other couples. And from what I was understanding, it's like not polyamorous, because I always say 3 is very unstable, get 4. Actually, keep adding to that. You can do 5 then, do 6. And this is what we deal with. And I bet anybody can vouch for this. You have a group of friends who are all fucking each other. People are cheating on each other. Some people are down low. And then I'm just like, why don't we all just like openly date? This would be the thing. And this is what happens on other planets. It's like in one household, there will be pairs of parents, and then they'll sleep around sexually with each other as they want because it's consensual. Nobody's saying the men have to be gay.
Like the person you marry is just sort of like it's more like just like your best friend that you live with for your whole life and stuff, and you still have other partners and do other things, and it's just a way more relaxed attitude on these other planets. And to me, it seems like they have like a way more healthier outlook on sex.
And that's why I don't fuck with the disclosure community, because like they're homophobic, and I'm like, first of all, you're homophobic and racist. Like, we're never getting picked up. You're never meeting an alien. How the hell? How can you be homophobic and racist?
Yeah, like, that's what I keep saying.
And then
it's
become
like,
part of the galactic.
Yeah, it's like
bro.
Like with Brian, like he was like so homophobic all the time, and it's like, dude, how can you literally like talk to mantis beings and shit, but like you can't handle the idea of somebody who was born male transitioning?
Yeah, see that I'm
like somebody with like blue hair.
He was talking to mantis beings too. He was like, he was literally doing that. He still is probably. He's like,
yeah. So the thing about that is anybody. Even with what happened recently, whenever you got on and talked about that shit, listen, if somebody's pointing a finger at somebody, or if anything bothers somebody, this is my understanding. Because look at Arkheim and how much people have attacked Arkheim for just being open and honest. Quite literally doing nothing but being open and honest. It's the men who get kind of like squirmy and have to openly say like, no, that's not all right. Like, or I don't mess with that. Why, dude? You're not comfortable in your sexuality? Are you so weak that I know men who are men who would fucking dress up as a girl on Halloween and have fun with it because they're not afraid of their sexuality, even if some of them are gay. But I know actual men who don't give a fuck about if somebody's thinking they're gay or not. They'll paint their nails. They'll do things like that. This is a program these people are running. And honestly, dude, if you're like talking about homophobe, I'm going to assume you might want to try having sex with a man, dude. I'm just saying, because that's
we talked about it before battle. In our last, I think we already talked about this maybe in our last conversation on here. Like Grindr crashed during Charlie Kirk's funeral, which is for people who don't know because they're not, it's a gay dating app. Gay hookup app, really.
Well, and that ties in with the swingers thing convention. Come on,
Republican convention happened in Wisconsin. Same thing, Grindr crashed. So these guys are all closeted gay men. I don't know what their deal is.
They think it's they think it's like, any like doing anything with a guy or being feminine in any way is like the most degrading thing ever. So they try to hide it by
There-
being, look over there, don't look at me, look at all these degenerate perverts.
And then the trans community, they want so bad for the trans community. Like, bro, there's been trans people since, like, oh, don't even get me started on that. They want to say trans people are the whole, like, the new pedophiles. Like, no, I think the pedophiles have always just been the pedophiles, and we quite literally have grown up in a pedophilic. We have to come.
We had Britney Spears singing about getting hit during sex at 16 years old.
Yeah, well, like, and think about
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Yeah,
Getting
damn,
hit
I didn't
during
even think of
sex.
that.
Nobody
Yeah.
does because it's so fucking normalized. Think about how fucking crazy that is.
Well, yeah,
I
and
mean,
think
when you
about-
said it, I put it together, but I never put that together.
Yeah, well, and think about our beauty standards too in Western culture. It's like, what is it? It's like blonde hair, blue eyes, which are things that you typically have when you're like a little kid to like
Yeah,
an early
Marilyn
teenage,
Monroe.
being
That's-
hairless. Like you're
Yep.
supposed to remove all your body hair. You're supposed to be thin, and it's like we just have all these like
That's all
beauty
programming.
standards that
Yeah,
the root
That's
of
all
them,
mind
they're
control
pedophilic.
programming. If it wasn't
Yeah.
for television, magazines, and all the mind control programming that's been put into our popular culture, we wouldn't have that. In fact, what's really weird is there's a social experiment that came out where don't remember the guy's name, but people can Google it. You all have Google. It's real, I promise. And I can't cite the information, but if you Google it, you'll probably find it. Basically, there's a social scientist who specialized in sex with not just with animals, humans. He's just interested in that. That was his field, and he wanted to get the information from Pornhub, not like literally seeing who's looking at what, just statistically
Yep.
what's being looked at.
Mhm.
And what
Yep.
he found, this is really weird. What he found is a big, beautiful woman, BBW, was a very, very popular category. But the statistics didn't match, like if you were to ask a man what kind of stuff he's into, those kind of
because that's a program that especially the Black community runs. Like, and I will say that.
Bro,
Anybody gonna say anything?
The
Like,
crazy thing is like you want to know where hoop skirts come from? This is actually a crazy thing too. Is there was some black woman that she had a nice big booty, you know, and some of the white men had not been exposed to such a voluptuous beauty and booty.
yep.
Oh, you're
And
thinking of a
Believe me,
bus-
I dealt with the same thing growing up. Butts were not popular until now, and this is the
Yeah,
thing they're
well,
doing.
this is like a kind of ancient history. I forget when this happened, but there was this woman. She had a big booty and all these.
Sarah Bartman.
Sarah Bartman. And so that's actually where the hoop skirt comes from, is the woman wanted to give the appearance that they also had like these voluptuous booties.
Oh yeah,
And so there's all these beauty standards that have been erased by mind control programming to replace it all with like a very
yeah, well, like,
pedophilic vision of
back
beauty.
in like the 1800s, like after like slaves were freed here in America, there were laws that said that like Black women had to like wear scarves and cover their hair because
yeah.
white women were getting too like jealous and like
Do-
they thought it was, yeah, so they're like, you have to cover your hair up, but then they made like these scarves, they like folded it in all these cool patterns and stuff.
Yeah.
and
Just
made
think
it,
about
like,
it.
really
A big symbol of status in white culture that comes from Europe is the noble women would wear their hair braided and wear these elaborate styles.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they needed to have maids and stuff to do it.
Mhm.
But Black women have locks and they can just wear their hair like that and keep it that
Mhm.
way. That's probably what it came from, is the fact that their hair looked very elaborate, having locks like that. I'm just kind of imagining here, but yeah, like, so they had to of course ban that because that was a signature, literally, of status. Your hair,
Yeah,
like
you,
the
Well,
more
yeah, not only
elaborate
that,
your
and then,
hair,
like-
the more status you had.
yep.
Exactly, and then this ties into the Vril Society and Maria Orsage and the girls who were able to tap in because they call them antennas. And then there was this one study done where they took these Native men when it was like, I don't even know, but they cut their hair, and pretty much it showed that they weren't able to
It wasn't
perform
a
as well.
study. They realized that there were these Native Americans who, when they hunted and did stuff like that, they had like a third sense or a fifth sense, excuse me.
Mhm.
And they thought that they were blown away by it. So they're like, all right, we want you to have they had a special infantry that was Native Americans, and they freaking cut their hair.
Exactly.
And they realized that cutting their hair made them not able, their abilities basically went away.
And that's a conditioning ritual. If people don't understand, when somebody cuts your hair, Britney Spears also dyeing your hair blonde. How many? I can picture like 12 celebrities that went through that whole craziness. Dye my hair blonde. Kanye West even
Well,
did
to
it.
me,
That's
with
programming.
Britney Spears, she, because I knew her and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, talk about this. They told her who she could hang out with, where she would go, how long she could stay there. Every outfit she wore every day was decided by them. The way she wore her hair, every little thing.
Yeah.
That was her saying "fuck you" to them. That was
Yeah, I
not
know.
her going crazy. That was the
I
most
know.
sane
I
moment
told
she
people
probably
that.
ever had in her whole life.
And
the
no one
whole
saw.
world owes her an apology for not realizing that it was a girl crying for fucking help for fuck's
That's what most of them are. Kanye, I mean, Kanye's really psychological too about it. Like, people don't understand, and I understand recently how Kanye uses reverse psychology a lot. He literally got out of a deal by acting the fuck out and saying, like, whenever that Black Lives Matter shit went down, you know what he did? He was wearing White Lives Matter, and that was making people mad. And I'm just like, why the fuck is that gonna? Kanye's making a fucking point. Like he's literally trying to prove a point in the most craziest way. Like the whole Nazi shit. People think he's doing that to be a Nazi. He's literally like putting himself out there. He already said he already fucking sacrificed his mom. That's on camera. I knew he did that. Mom, hey mama was made like as a child. I knew that
That's
he
what made him.
sacrificed his mom.
That's what's totally made him go insane. Is he sold his soul to the industry, sacrificed his mother, as everybody has to do, and he's lost his shit. And in there's a creative, caring young man as he once was, but there's so much trauma and fucking, he's covering up with drugs and acting out, and I won't
Being
make
with
any
the
excuses for a lot
Kardashians.
of his behavior, but I do feel very sorry for him.
Oh yeah, sure. Just like I try to tell people, understand we're all slaves, and people in the industry are slaves as well. I found out that some of these people, it's so crazy ritualistically that some people when they die, their soul kind of even gets like put on hold to re-enter a body into these perverted families. Like, so they just keep reincarnating into these families so that they continue the perversion. And like what's that say? After even a soul like ejects a body and then you put the soul back in, then you raise it again and then you put it through the same thing. Like, that's fucking imprinting inceptionally, like down to the macro micro, just like we talked about. And it's happening all the time.
Yeah. I know there's probably a lot of stuff that we're not covering when it comes to the Trump Epstein stuff. And all I got to say is there's a million YouTube channels doing that right now. The main point here is he definitely freaking blew Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
And these people are doing real wild sexual stuff behind closed doors. They're fucking each other.
Yeah, it seems to
Oh, I know, it's so stupid. I'm like, it's just sex. Like how we all got here, guys.
And this is what I'm trying to get at. I guess this is the thing here where we can kind of wrap it up, because we're talking about all the negative stuff. What is healthy sex? Let's talk about that. What does healthy sexual relationships look like? Because for me, I'm going to be real, everybody. I think that this idea that you need to get married before you even have sex and all this other stuff is bullshit.
Yeah, that's what I grew up with.
It's mind control programming. It's been damaging to society, damaging to women more than anything, but it's also damaging to men.
It is.
Yeah.
Because they do the whole virgin thing. They want it to be a virgin, and that's fucked up. So you, even no matter how, it's crazy. It all has to do with programming too, and like the whole, I don't even know what it's called. They like, is it the Quran? I don't even know, but for some reason they think when they die they're getting like a certain amount of virgins. I'm like, what the fuck? I can't even believe I live here sometimes. Like, you guys are waiting to die, and you have wives, and then
we're gonna talk about this. We're talking, because you were talking about earlier how they love to use the trans community as a scapegoat, pedophile.
Oh, all the time.
Well, what's interesting and kind of just proving your point is, like, there's recently been bills to end child marriage, where you can marry an underage girl in certain states, and it's always Republicans striking it down. Not that I think both parties suck, but I want to point this out. Like,
they have to play their part. That's all I see. I see a stage, and they're both playing parts, because like, we know this is a problem. Why are we waiting for them to make the decision? That's where the people need to come in. Like, I'm so tired of handing my fucking my everything to two parties or two wings of the same bird, and it's irritating that everyone's compromised. everything's compromised at this point. It's like we really need to reset, and it's not going to be pretty. People are like, think it's going to be so. Oh, we're going to
Yeah,
fucking.
like this should be the moment I would think like we're like, okay, we got, because it's just so brilliant to me. Like I was just like I know it's kind of weird, but like I was thrilled when I found this information.
No, it's because it's true. Because it's truth, and it makes you feel.
Here's the thing: is like, so what? So Bill Clinton getting his fucking Jagon fucking yanked on by fucking Donald Trump, like he's gonna put that information out there. The Democrats are gonna put that information out there, like because it's all a Democrat. Why wouldn't they make it like different information then? Like why would they implicate Bill Clinton? Like, and what I'm getting at here is two wings of the same bird. They're both implicated. Both parties are implicated. They're owned by these like intelligence agencies, blackmail operation stuff. And it's time to wake up and like this could be a beautiful moment where we all unite as people and realize that we're just getting shit on by these politicians and these billionaires and stuff.
Mhm.
And maybe it can be. What I first see happening with a lot of in the next few years is like a lot of just the system exposing its dark underbelly, exposing itself.
Yep.
And that's what this is. And it's up to us to react accordingly, react correctly, because like we're really going to see in a big way in the next few years how much we've been lied to. And like this whole idea of like another thing that really bothered me in like the truther community, like you talk about those syphilis experiments on black people, right? Like there's a reason why some people don't like to call themselves patriots. Okay. Doesn't mean they fucking hate their fellow countrymen or freedom.
I hate that. Like whenever
but it's like, dude, like your people were enslaved, right? Black people were enslaved. They built this country with their blood, sweat, and tears, and then they're shit on. And
so were white people too. I feel like that's another divide and conquer. Are we gonna act like white people weren't?
Yeah,
I'm so confused. That's the thing. I'm like, and I love being mixed because I'll be like, my mom's white, so I'll be like, to a white person, I'm like, shut the fuck up. To a black person, fully white or fully black, shut the fuck up, because we are all slaves. Like I have been dealing with this from both sides, and it's so funny that white people, especially in Pennsylvania, they think they're so free, they're so much better. I'm like, you're in the same fucking boat as me, dude. Like you're in a slave ship right fucking with me. You think you're part of the 1%? You're not. You're quite literally co-creating the reality that they want.
that's all. That's the thing with a lot of these people is they think that they eventually will be a Donald Trump or whatever. They think,
well, temporarily embarrass millionaires. Like,
yeah,
and that's the thing. It's like they all want a lot of these people. They want to have the same type of sex that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein are having. Like they just can't get away with it because they're not rich. Like statistically, if you look up like teen pregnancy stats, like the majority of fathers of teen pregnancies are men who are over 18. Like that's a fact. That's our culture.
Yeah, and this is a statistic. All that can be looked up. If nobody knows this, a man that prays the most, there's like, what a certain man is who prays the most on children is always the dad. This is a thing. Like dads, men that are biologically related to their children are the most highest to be abusing their children. It's like this crazy. It's insane. I was like, so
easiest access, right?
Yep.
Like these people prioritize ease of access over everything else.
And then if you have a girl, you can sell her out, just like the Kardashians. Fucking. I know they're witches and stuff, but best believe Kim Kardashian, she literally put her sex video out and made herself famous. Strats, I get it, girl. Like high five for that. But look at everything that did with Kylie Jenner, with the lips, girls getting their fucking lips done, the filters, like people are walking around like literally cutting.
It's all mind control. It's all mind.
Oh, it is fucking 100%. I'm like, holy fuck. Some of you don't even know what you look like. We don't even know.
Social media apps are making little girls cut themselves, and then people don't act like that's dangerous. And they're like, "Oh, wait, don't worry, we made Instagram for teens now."
That's disgusting. Okay. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. Like it is.
They have the dark web. They might as well say, "Hey, we're gonna make a whole separate site just for kids, so we can prey on your kids specifically. And when you sign this up, you're kind of at least signing your kids over to us." That's what the kids don't need to be on the fucking internet.
There is child trafficking happening out in the fucking open on these apps. There's no reason why people should be allowing their children on them, but they do.
Yeah, there's a lot of like there's a lot of people who are seeing big dollar signs and they're doing it themselves. Like there's
exploiting their children. I've told people, bro.
Yeah, there's there's like this girl on TikTok, this little tiny girl named Ryn Aphelion, and her mom has been putting her on TikTok ever since she was a literal infant. She's like a toddler now, and like the stuff that her mom makes her do is just
I know it's disgusting. It's like
gross.
it's
Like their
Nickelodeon.
parents are doing it to their own kids because it makes them money. It's
Yeah,
easy
yeah.
money.
And this is grooming. This is a part of grooming your society. Like whenever, believe me, I know that when people have kids, they're looking at their kids like dollar signs too. And we're in a desperate economy. And then pandemic, lockdown. Every pandemic was planned, guys. Like quite literally, Uber, OnlyFans, Fortnite. What else all came out?
Well,
Like
I didn't see it at the time because I didn't want to, but I see it now. It was definitely a manufactured event.
all of that
it
came
didn't
out.
go off the way they planned because they put the virtual reality worlds out there.
Yep.
They're really crappy ones. Yours were way better, but they put the real crappy ones out
Did you
there.
say mine?
Yeah. In the programs you made worlds, but you know the meta programs they made, no one was using them. None of that shit went the way they expected. You know.
Also cryptocurrency, but I feel like they're doing this thing. They'll implement something. They'll put it out like years ago, like cryptocurrency, and then they'll like pick it back up, push it down, but then it's gonna come back up because they want to get us to digital currency. I think that they want to get us to a universal based income. Like they want to get us into 15-minute smart cities, and this is all. And then to collect our children, like what do we think?
It's a really complicated thing because it's so stupid. Because it's like they take. It's true they want to do like a lot of these things, but also then they're really good at what they're doing because like think about
I always give them
walkable
props,
cities, like that's fine, like that'd be great, like make cities more walkable.
Yeah.
But then you make it so like you're not allowed to own a car, you can't leave, you put cameras everywhere, like, but they start with just, hey, you're gonna be able to walk everywhere. That's amazing, right? That's a really good first step. But then they build on that and create a fucking prison. And it's just like they can take the best ideas ever. Like we should walk places more. It'd be great for everybody's health. It'd be better for businesses. It'd make more money.
We're privileged to live where we do.
Yeah, like I live somewhere where you can walk everywhere, and I love it. So like I'm all about that. But when you turn it into a prison, which is literally what they want to do, like here in Portland, they're putting up the flock cameras. Well, they voted to temporarily turn them off, so they're off now. And we're just supposed to trust
they might as well be on.
It's like so stupid. Like, just don't have them. Like,
you have to shoot them
out.
Be
a progressive like city where we're like we stand up to the government, and those things are somehow getting installed here. I don't get it. Like, how do we even have them to begin with? Like,
no one makes moves. That's the thing. It's like there's been people like us, and I don't even care. People were like, people want to like say, "Oh, you were the bad guy," and we were all fucking monsters. Like, did you think you're just all fucking sunshines, rainbows, and all that glitter? No, like there had to be darkness, and like. All the things that were done in darkness will come to light. And I feel like people like us who were in the programs, and especially you, like, and like if people are even aware of some of the stuff like you were involved with, this is redemption. Like I hate people trying to bring other people down like, oh, this is who you were back then. Time doesn't matter because it's linear. We're in this density and the only time is now. So if you're constantly projecting onto me what I did in this SSP pro, like I can't get shit done in this reality. And from what I'm understanding is you don't want to, like 100%, you do not want to be a part and you want to fix the system. There's other people who are throwing these conferences who do not have that idea. They're trying to take over Hollywood, become the new gatekeeping pyramidal scheme of light, love and light, weird information, and I'm not having it. Like I will, like I said, that means like we just won't have a lot of supporters for until people come around and they wake up and then they just come to terms with who they want to have sex with and be open about it. And
that's kind of what I want to get into here is like the healthy aspect of like sex. And I just want to point out, like, for me, it's like consent is really it's like to make it as simple as possible. Do whatever the fuck you want as long as everybody is consenting. Children cannot consent to anything. There's a reason why people, like you can't, like a child can't consent to even all sorts of things that have nothing to do with sex, but also sex. It's because they're too young to consent. So
exactly
that makes it really simple when you look at it that way. It's like, okay, well, since a child can't consent to anything, then you can't do anything sexual with a child. That goes against like the moral rules of healthy sex and not harming people. Because as Penny Bradley has pointed out, sexual with a child, it always traumatizes the child. Like every time, it causes trauma. They're not supposed to have sex yet.
Yeah,
And it
No.
causes them trauma.
It
yeah.
does.
On fucking TV. That reminds me of like on fucking TV now. Like fucking Megyn Kelly is trying to be like, you know, oh, they weren't like 8-year-olds. They were only 15-year-olds.
Well,
And
I
it's
don't
like,
give a
15
fuck.
is
They
still
were
a child. Like it's still
this
a
is the-
minor. Like
that shit pisses me off.
This
That's
is
that
a
whole.
grown-ass man that could have any woman he wants on the planet, obviously, because he's like rich and stuff. Why is he going after 15-year-old girls? That's weird.
And then why are women around him letting? Like that's the thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm looking at all these women in these places. I'm like, yeah, wrap them all up. Like put them all. We need to rehabilitate these motherfuckers. Put them in the prison.
Yeah,
We can
and
take.
that's one thing I want to bring up too is in the show is like because we're talking a lot about. I think us men we should have more like men support groups.
Yes.
To be more open about talking about our emotions, how we feel,
Yes.
and we should.
I think a lot of this stuff, like the pedophilic stuff, like the emphasis on virginity, stems a lot from like male insecurity because, like, if you're with a woman who has been around the block and knows what she's doing, she's going to have expectations of you as a man. Whereas, like, a teenage girl doesn't know shit. She's going to be
And that's weird.
wide-eyed. She's going to think everything you're doing is great and normal. And it just shows like weakness at a fundamental level. This emphasis on like lusting after teenagers. And,
Yeah,
like,
because they're easily. Yeah, because they're easily groomed. Like that's the thing. Whenever I was talking about like my relationship, how can a boy date an older girl? Who, like, because I was 28 at the time, but then the next girl he dates is literally under age 16. There's a come on, guys. He is 19 years old. I don't give a fuck if she's 3 years younger than him. That's grooming. That is. So when people are like, "Oh, what do we talk about when we're talking about children?" I'm like, "Children. I shouldn't even have to fucking get into it. A child. Don't have sex with a child." And this is I can't make the rules. 18 and older. 18 and older. That's all I can say. We have safe sex spaces for 18 and olders, especially at conferences. We make it like strip clubs. We have fucking bouncers. We can have male, women, and transformers.
Yeah,
Like
I dig that idea better than having some weird. Oh, this is another.
This is going on behind the scenes.
Exactly, it's
Nobody
just
knows
weird.
it, but it's happening.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, like as far as people have been like, I've been public about how I'm into whatever. Like I was just kind of like saying it in passing, not realizing everyone's gonna fucking
lose their
They
mind.
did that purposely, and they're doing the same shit that you said.
But it's like, yeah, dude, all these people behind closed doors are like, sucking each other's dicks and stuff like that. I'm not even into that. To be honest, I don't like men really, but I like doing stuff like with other people and
group, like in a group. Who wouldn't
yeah,
be?
and like it's just so fucked up because somebody's like women. Somebody said that I respect. They're like went off on me, like call me like a gang banger, which I think is hilarious because like gang banging is
gang banging means like
that's not
doing
sexual.
drive-bys and shit.
You're blood now.
Two
I
different
know you're
things,
blood.
2 different things. But like I'm just like all I'm saying is like okay, like I think they're saying women aren't objects and like for you and your buddies just use. I've never even actually done that before. I'm just saying like if I did or whatever, who gives a fuck, right?
No, and I told people
and I was just saying and like it's dumb to say like women aren't just your object. Da 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 da. It's like okay, well
some girls are into
9 out of 10, like like 75%. Like it's an absurd amount of women like. This guy Bubba Dumbass was saying on my show, most women haven't come, right? They haven't had an orgasm with a man.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but the type of woman that's confident in herself to sleep with multiple men probably has had orgasms, and that's probably healthy, and that's probably good for her and good for the men that did that with her, as long as everybody involved is like, cool with what's going on and is
not blackmailing and not inverting it.
Yeah, and it's all out in the open and nobody needs to hide anything and no one's cheating on anyone and all that shit. It's like, who cares? And that's what I was saying. I'm not saying go out and be the most sexually devious person or whatever, but I'm saying, like, if they try to blackmail me, like, hey, we got a tape of you fucking banging your lady with another dude or something. All I'm saying is, like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, this is what I said before
we got the footage. I kind of wouldn't mind seeing it. You know what
exactly.
I mean? Like, it's like, dude, it's just stupid. Like, move on with your lives. Like, my sex life is nobody's business. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
I put myself out there in a neutralizing way, not to make everybody all of a sudden be all concerned about what I do. I've never done anything other than with just one person before. I've never done anything like that. But I'm saying if I ever did in the future, fuck it, who cares?
Yep.
Like, and
yeah,
it's not a problem or anything that matters. You know, just like if I did stuff with ladies, which I'm sure will happen and stuff, like it doesn't matter. Like,
so that's the thing. I was like, from my point of view, like I didn't go to the Florida conference, but I was telling when people were coming back telling me people had sex with this, people were doing drugs. I was like,
who cares?
well, okay, yeah. So I took a step back and I was like, so if I go down there and I'm celibate, if I decide I want to have sex with somebody, are you guys going to take it and hold it against me? If I decide if somebody has a bag of coke and I want to do a line of coke or Molly, who's going to fucking stop y'all? Are y'all going to videotape that and then blackmail me? Because I will say I do coke. You know, I've done drugs, but can you guys sit there and say that you're doing this shit behind the scenes? And no, because you're not truthful. Because you have to do shit. Because I was like, this is not even the place for me. Because if I wanted to do a little, if I want to fuck somebody who's gonna,
this is simple enough for me. Is like, I have been very surprised at every conference. These people are always like very like, oh, we're high vibe, and man, there's a lot of drinking that goes on, and that's fine. We're human beings, but it's like. Everybody, when you're watching these people and you're like, oh, they're so holy and holy, like they're so love and light, and they don't drink and da da da. Yeah. You haven't threw down with some of these people at these conferences like I have, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
Like I partied hard with some people who you would not expect fucking party hard. And
oh yeah, and I bet
that we're humans, dude. We're supposed to have a good time and have fun.
I'm trying to go down to one of those.
That, like, you know what I mean? Like.
They
just don't go too far with it. Don't binge for 3 days and stuff, and fucking be responsible about it. But like, yeah, like I personally, I try to stick to just the weed. I don't even like drinking, but I do that occasionally.
Me either.
I've taken very long breaks, and I keep on trying to stop, but I've got a little bit of a problem with it. I guess I would abstain completely if I were a stronger person.
No, you're good. I'm trying to stop too.
Going to bars is fun.
Going to bars is kind of fun.
Yeah.
All right. And it's not the worst thing in the world. But I will say I agree that there's loose harvesting entities that will, all that shit's true. They'll come through. They'll try to fucking take advantage. The programs are like, oh, he's drunk tonight. Perfect time to take him. Like,
yeah, but
there's
also
a lot of reasons why it's dangerous, more than just the surface level ones that you're told as a child when you're first told about drinking and like the, like don't drink and drive and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's esoteric problems with it too.
Alcohol and spirits.
Yeah.
Wines.
There's a reason I when people are like, I abstain, I don't do it. I'm always like, fucking, I think that's cool, man. I respect that.
Yeah, because it's fucking hard.
It's just hard not to. That's all. Yeah. And let's and that's one of the things that I just kind of realized, like, because I always felt like I'm probably an odd man out. Like, oh, I drink here and there, and I'm in this truther spiritual circle of people or whatever. Well, it turns out no. Most of them are having a few drinks. There's nothing fucking wrong with that.
Yeah, I found that out, and I was like,
even like,
And people are making it. This is the thing. I've never even been to a conference. I didn't even get up there to a conference. Hopefully one day, but it's maybe. But I quite literally just heard people made it my problem, and just like people made it your problem, and then you're just speaking up and like, hey guys, let's try to fix this problem. They're like, oh my god, Arkheim's this, he's a weirdo. I'm like, y'all are like, oh my god, that's so weird. Why do they do this? And I see it so openly, so I don't have a problem. Like anybody coming close to me, especially in these communities, know that I don't do the race thing. Like it's just so stupid, especially if you're going to be in disclosure community. And also, if people don't know, like I have male versions of me that I'm integrating from up in the projects. A lot of people don't know that about me. And up there, I was probably sleeping around with men. Oh my god. As a man, I was sleeping around with other men.
Oh,
yeah, and if I was down here as a man, I would probably want to do my makeup like I do as a girl.
Arthur. Named Arthur. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and then when we think about ritualistic, like we know the boys were made to do shit with the boys, and boys were made to do shit to the girls. Girls were put in beta programming to sleep with guys for information, and I'm sure like dominatrix.
One thing that I actually really, and I want to maybe do this with you too, Jordan, is Penny is very educated and has been kind of talking about like guys, meaning literally guys, you can have sex kitten programming too. You know that. Like, and a lot of these weird rumors swirling around that I'm going to be respectful and not get specific about, but people have heard them. I think that's a little bit of what's going on. There's some
Oh.
sex kitten programming, mind control kind of stuff where it's literally out of certain people's control. Maybe they're confused. Maybe they don't know what's going on because they have alters and things like that coming on.
Yep.
Oh, so this is not a subject that was like, this is it. This is the last time we're going to talk about it. Third Eye. We're going to keep talking about this like a lot. And we're not going to stop talking about it because I don't know everything when it comes to this sexual mind control programming stuff. I know that I was big. I'm heavily entrenched in it. But I just know it's like it's the biggest way of mind control. It is, man. Is putting all this weirdness behind it, all this pedophilic energy into it, and then with that, also putting weird shame energy into it and stuff. And it's like,
because the intention behind whenever you're having sex with the intention to blackmail, with the intention that you don't even want to do this, you have to do it because you want a spot on the stage or you want an acting position. All of that is sexually negatively charged energy, and like people take that home with it and are devious, and that just spreads like an entity, like a virus. So that is a lot of the big people aren't doing this under the right intentions. If it was good intentions and under consent, the right consent, we would not literally have any of these problems of people being afraid, people blackmailing, all of that. It's quite literally in the way at which they built the system, and then they try to punish you for being inside the system that they built.
It's just wild to me because it's like for me, and I understand this isn't the world we live in at all. But for me, it's like, okay, Bill Clinton got his dick sucked by Donald Trump. Big fucking deal. But obviously, that's the end of the world for both of those individuals.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and it's all just their head and everyone's head. It's not like a crime occurred there. It's all the other shit we got to be worried about, like the children involved and stuff.
Exactly.
But for some reason, that's the smoking gun.
That's when I step back.
There was a politician, I think it was like back in the 80s, who said like, the only way I won't get elected is if they catch me with a dead girl or a live boy. And I think that that's very like applicable to the situation.
It's a pretty fucking cold fucking statement from that guy. And then he got elected too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a thing. Look it up. So,
I'm not laughing at.
That's something to keep in mind when you're dealing with these.
Sometimes we laugh to deal with.
Because believe me, I cry every day, bro. So I'm like, because it's so fucking absurd. I'm just like, you guys are making this a bigger deal. Save the fucking children and just be honest about your sex life. And I'm stepping back from social media, from conferences, from all of that, and I'm just gonna it's quite literally letting the pyramid fall. Like the cards are falling.
There's say this from my male perspective because obviously I'm here with the two women. I really think that men need to talk with each other about rape culture more and stuff.
Yes.
When I grew up, like when I was like in my my teens and my early 20s and stuff, it was very much so more normalized. And it's kind of like through the collective consciousness of the internet existing, where everybody kind of like is like, oh, we agree on these things through the collective consciousness of the internet. You were able to see like, oh wow, maybe a 30-year-old dude dating a 16-year-old girl is kind of weird, right? Like, why would you do that? And, like stuff like that. Like, I remember growing up, I actually had like a friend who was 16, like around my age, and she was dating some 30-year-old dude, and I didn't think anything of it at all.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we didn't think anything of it. We all just like
when you're like a dumb kid, like
we didn't
you
think
think
anything.
that
He bought us beer
that's
and shit.
cool. It's like, he buys me beer.
He bought us beer and stuff, hung out with them, and it didn't seem like anything wrong.
And you don't realize.
And her parents knew about it. Parents were fine with it.
See, that's the thing. The parents have to, because this is the thing. I played so calm with older men.
And a lot of the time, speaking of women, like a lot of the time, there's a lot of moms out there who will be like, oh, my daughter's dating. They have the mindset where they're like, oh, my daughter's dating this older guy, like,
weird,
and take care of her.
Yeah, that's literally kind of what it was like.
That's like selling off your daughter to an older,
like.
Yeah, exactly. It's selling people off.
I will point out though that this individual's mother. I'm not trying to talk about too much shit publicly, but they did kind of like drink a lot and stuff. So that's probably part of the reason why she was okay with it. But I don't know. That I remember that happened and it was totally normal, and it took me until later on when like I'm getting older and like I'm talking to like girls like around that age and other guys around me are like, that's kind of weird, dude. You maybe shouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
well,
you're probably
also,
right. I probably shouldn't do that. Like, it takes us men, like, it takes us men, like, checking ourselves and, like,
exactly.
looking at each other and, like, yeah, like I said, I grew up. I thought that was fine. And it took, like, being around men with a better moral compass, good role models, I guess you could say, even if they're my same age or whatever, to be like,
Yeah.
to look at it and be like, oh, that's not normal, right? And I
Mhm.
also grew up in the Montauk world, which bled over into this life, and it has taken a lot of just like growing and like learning as a person in order to see like, wow, there's been some rape culture ass shit that I've been thought is normal my whole life, and it's
Mhm.
not. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
And then
But
also
when I
they
was a young man, the first sorry to keep going on, but
no,
like
you're got right.
the first times I had sex, like what I knew about sex was from porn. And I
Yeah.
look
Mhm.
back at like my first couple of girlfriends, and it's like, yeah, I was a shitty partner to them because I didn't know any better. It's a shitty
Yeah.
rape
Porn is a
culture kind of
problem.
world where like we're born into where we. And so now, like I just realize like I need to like if I'm talking to younger men, like and stuff, and we just need to look out for each other in a way where it's not the rape culture way where we're like, yeah, hey, yeah, I got you, do it on the down low. I won't say anything
Yeah.
about it. No, it needs to be the opposite now. We're like, dude, why are why are you doing this?
More of a
Yeah.
call,
You know what I mean? Like,
call in rather than a call out.
yeah, call in,
Also,
call
like
out.
for girls like me to cheat, because when girls turn 18, there's girls who want to go into OnlyFans, and I already talked about this on Audrey's. We need women that are willing to talk to younger women about, hey, this is what you're getting yourselves into. If you want to do this with your body when you turn 18, or whenever girls turn 18, they need women who have been through this to tell them this is fucking what you're doing, and you have to make a decision because, like, quite literally, girls are just signing up for OnlyFans at 18, and yeah, they're making bank and shit, but this is mentally, even at how old was I? Like
You can't get
26.
rid of
It
that shit
Yeah.
off the
fucked
internet.
me
So you're
up.
like,
Once your butthole's on the internet, it's on there
yeah, you
forever.
can't get rid of it, man.
Yeah.
I have a friend who had made an OnlyFans that went through the experience of like they decided to like transition and like just like get rid of their shit, and they scrubbed it from the internet over and over again, paid
Oh.
money, and it's there. It's still there.
Oh no, it's there. That's why. Well, the thing about my OnlyFans is I don't even know. This is when you talk about OnlyFans, there's like extremes. I was a girl on OnlyFans where I just cosplayed and I showed my butts and my boobs, or my butt and my boobs. That's it. Like people were on there literally, quite literally having sex. That's not. You don't have to do that. You can model, and I was just cosplaying as different characters, and I made fucking money enough to like 3K, 4K almost to buy my PC. So there are extremes. People would look at me like, oh, she's an OnlyFans girl, and people have literally said, oh, I had sex with her. She sent me pictures before, and that's so dangerous. Like, I've had men who claim to have sex with me whenever I'm celibate, and I'm like, bro, then you rape me. If you want to go around and say that you had sex with me, you rape me. Then we could take this to court if you fucking want. Like that's what I've had to deal with too as a girl. Like, oh, she sent me pictures, and I'm sure people in the communities did this too, because once somebody sees you having OnlyFans and shit, yeah, there's no scrubbing that. Anything you put on the internet is always on there. And anyway, their cameras are constantly looking at you. Don't even get naked in front of your cameras. But shit, I love posting my old OnlyFans thing to show people I'm not ashamed of this. I did it and I'm out of it because it was all a choice. And everyone has a choice to be honest and open with their sexuality. And that's the reality we live in now because that's the reality we built for real. So we just have to check each other and also have safe, just for men's spaces. Like how hard is that in women's spaces?
Yeah,
And we're not fucking.
and I think another thing that's going to be a really hard subject of the conversation when I do, because I feel like I'm feeling a calling to maybe start some sort of like SSP men's mental health
You
group or something.
should. Yes.
Like, yeah, I think that's probably going to end up happening. I think one of the hard things that I'm probably going to find out is like how many of these men got abused as boys. It is really common for men too.
All my friend homies are men. I promise. Like, yeah, all
But
the
hey, I
time.
just want to say I'm going to start this group. I'll probably put out a video. It's kind of all coming to fruition in this talk right now, realizing it needs to happen. Like a SSP men's group. Maybe you could run like a SSP female group or something. I don't know. We should do it.
Yeah.
But we're kind of talking about how
Yes.
some of these. You're talking about like for me, like some of these groups are like, and I'm not gonna name names, but some of these support groups is like free for all. Anyone can like join them. But I kind of, you were talking about how you feel like there's like people who are joining these groups like not for the right reasons, and maybe we should be a little more careful about some of these groups. So I think I need to start running some of my own groups
Yeah, you should.
and just be careful and
Have
be
a little bit of a vetting
have a little bit
process.
more of a filter,
Yeah.
so that we don't have any spooks in our groups.
Yep.
But yeah, I definitely think like a SSP men's mental health kind of group where, because we all went through the same programming, and I've been dealing with getting myself out of the mind control programming, and I'm not all the way there. In fact, one of my alters had to get sent to like a reverse mind control institution, which they don't have those on Earth yet. So fuck, man, I have a lot of trauma and a lot of pain from a lot of the things that I was forced to do in the programs, and like a lot of the basically sexual torture that I was forced to endure. So yeah, I need to start a group, because I was even talking to my therapist. She's like talking to me about maybe going to sexual assault support groups. I'm like, how am I supposed to explain to them that this all happened in like time?
No, you start your own thing. That's the thing. I feel like you need to stop going under somebody else's pyramid and quite literally be like, fuck this shit, let me build my own, because I feel you are quite literally so comfortable, both of you. Do the whole female thing, do the male thing, but I feel like you guys would be the supreme people to start something like this and to get everybody in, because whatever is happening, like, I'm not trying to put anybody else under the bus, but whoever else is throwing these conferences, it's not it. It's not it. It's a dangerous place. I'm glad I didn't go, and I feel like this shit needs to be figured out before we're fucking taking people's money or exploiting people, rich or poor, on both sides to travel to these conferences whenever they're not safe.
I say be unblackmailable. Like, if you're into some kinky shit, like, then just like say it. Like, I might like some kinky shit, guys. You don't need to know my fucking sex life, but let's say they did try to put some shit out there. Whatever. Who gives a fuck?
Exactly.
I was trying to say. I wasn't saying go out there and be a deviant or whatever.
They did that purposely. Arkheim,
there's a guy, like that. I believe he was the prime minister of Indonesia. I might be wrong. It might be a totally different country, but I'm pretty sure it was Indonesia. The CIA got sent him all these honeypots. He was a married man. Marriage was, like kind of like they figured they basically like be like, okay, we have all this footage of you sleeping with all these ladies, and we're gonna blackmail you now. And they did that, and he was literally just like, "Can I see it? Like, I don't care."
My wife knows exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's just like, wow, like that shows
shuts him down.
It shows my sexual prowess and all this stuff. And he's like, that's cool. Go ahead, put the videos out there. And it took all the steam from their engine.
Exactly. So literally, they have nothing.
That's all I'm saying is just like, if you're gonna be away, live a certain way, live promiscuously, just own up to it. Don't let yourself be able to be blackmailed.
I always tell
be careful. Yeah. I'm not saying sex can be a dangerous thing. So be careful. I'm not saying just go out there and be a sexual maniac. That's not me. This channel isn't really about sex.
No, and that's not what we're saying.
Because it's a part of the conversation. Yes. It is, man. They're blackmailing people with sex. Yeah. And so I just, I'm not to be a broken record, but it's all about consent. Kids can't consent, so they're out of the picture.
Neither can animals.
They're out of the picture. So just, fucking it. And just other than that, have a good time. Be respectful. Be careful. Be safe. Have fun. That's all we're saying.
Wrap it up.
It's just sex, dude. It's not, you know what I mean? And we live in a weird culture that you can show people getting blown apart and body parts on TV, but you can't show people having sex on TV. That says everything about our culture. That's fucked up. That's weird. I'm not saying they should have people having sex on TV.
No, but everyone's fucking.
They shouldn't have people getting blown up on TV either, though. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's just we live in a weird culture where violence is more normal than love. Seriously.
Conditioning. Yep, conditioning.
And that's crazy to me. I don't know. I feel like we did kind of a good job covering.
Yeah, I forgot we were live.
Just sex in general and healthy attitudes towards sex and how they use it as mind control more than about Donald Trump and Epstein. That was just kind of a cornerstone of the conversation. And as I said, I'm sure we'll talk about this more in the future.
Oh yeah, we're not stopping. This is I already knew this was going to open a floodgate, especially with the thing I did with Audrey on her channel with OnlyFans. I'm not stopping talking about this shit because it's a constant thing that I have dealt with throughout my life, and why I stopped talking about it. And I want to make people uncomfortable. I need to make people uncomfortable in their own skin so that they can either come out. It's like ripping off people's masks and being like, I'll rip my own mask off too, and let's just deal with this. Because there's people being blackmailed who are afraid to talk out, and that's not cool. And that's exploitation on so many levels.
Especially exploited like that. Like not Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, but
I was talking about people in our comfort. Yeah.
They're being exploited because their attitudes towards sex. It's like, that's what I'm saying is dumb. Yeah. Unless there are people actively being harmed and there's actual sex trafficking going on, people should not First of all, don't engage in that. Don't do that, right? And second of all, unless it's that, fucking dude.
Exactly.
If they're gonna try to talk about it, that's them being weird. That's weird. Like, why are you talking about me and my sex life? That's weird, right?
It's because it probably was turning them on. That's why I said you're honest about it. And I'm telling you, some of these men are gay. Like I'm telling you, Arkheim, you have no idea. I've been around men who like other men, and I'm telling you, I can see
it's way more
some
common.
of them are probably jealous of you. Like some people, and Kat can probably understand this, when a girl's jealous of you and she kind of likes you too, it's just like, what the fuck? Men are, I've seen boys like other boys, and then they like put them to the side because they can't fuck you. It's like, it's so simple. And they'll do the same thing to a girl. If they can't fuck you, they'll make you the problem. So
yeah, that explains some weird. That explains.
Yeah, I guess. So I guess.
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Dude, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's like, well, like there's so many guys. Like I think every female has had this experience where it's like a guy like slides into your DMs and is like, "Hello, beautiful," and then when you say like, "I'm not interested," they'll be like, "You're fat anyway, bitch. You're anyway."
This dude from that's in literally, I won't say his name because I don't really care, but I literally gave him this ammo for this. I posted something about, I don't even know if it was related to my OnlyFans, but people will just say something sexually. He could have talked about anything else about the sexual part. And I was like, bro, I knew you were going to bring that up. Like, you're so predictable. And he was like, relax, you're the OnlyFans girl, da da da. And I'm like, thank you for fucking healing me with all the ammo I ever gave you. You think, go ahead and tell 5 of your homies I'm an OnlyFans girl. I bet one of them want to marry me. Like, that's the thing. You think you're talking shit? You think you want to post like the whole posting the videos and stuff? I've had boys say, oh, I'll post your, thank you, I'll post my link with it too so I get money, please. Like, that's how I was.
While we're here, what do you guys think of this whole thing where they're like certain men in this community be like, because I see it, it's not just one guy, it's lots of guys who be like, ladies, if you are wearing revealing clothing, you're attracting the loose harvesting.
It's just Christian purity culture and with a new age gloss over it.
Thank you. That's what it is. Like, that's why I'll continue to post because fine, then if that's the kind of people you guys are, and you're an angelic, and you're this and that, and this is not, then okay, stay over there. And you can't handle like seeing a little girl, like not a little girl, like a girl dressed like me. Like, you can't handle my tits. Like, this is what y'all sucked on for nutrients. As like, why does everything have to be sexual? Like, there are races out there of women who dress like, think of the gods, Dionysus and fucking all of them. Like, they loved having sexual parties and all that other stuff. I'm talking about not the rapey type shit from mythology, but the parties they had were very much open. And then if you were a queen or a king or anything, kings were especially known for having male. Game of Thrones is a perfect fucking example. It's like, you guys make this bigger than it ever has to be, and it's because you're doing it under the wrong intentions and you're trying to blackmail people, and it's as simple as that. Like, and nothing's ever it's gonna all be inverted and fucked up if that's how you're going about it.
Yeah, I think misogyny plays a huge role in this as well, because like there's a lot of guys who think that like doing stuff with another guy makes them like a woman, and they like hate women. So
yeah,
but that's the thing. They hate women, so they date men. They like men. If you hate a woman,
I love women so much.
I can tell.
No,
there's only a few men I've ever met who love women, and you're one of them. And there's only a few other men I know that they truly love women, but other men, they don't love women. Honestly, they hate them. They despise them. And I'm like, oh, that's why you're fucking.
They look at them as objects, and they can't look at them as people.
Exactly. That's pretty much, yeah. And then that gets into even, with color and stuff. I call it energetic racism. Even whenever it comes to like trans people, I'm like, y'all are racist against trans people. Like, what the fuck? It's like the fundamental of like, you can't handle somebody else be a different color or wanting to do something to their body. Why are you even worried about their body? It's just, it's too much.
It's the agenda. No.
Right?
Gay people, we just hate the agenda. It's like, no, you fucking hate gay people.
Yep, you're racist, dude. Just say you're fucking racist. Just say the N-word. I will literally give you the pass right now, but they wouldn't. It's so funny.
I mean, I don't know. When you have a flyer for your conference and it's just a sea of white faces, and for some reason the only person who isn't white somehow got the whole black and white treatment when they're the only brown-skinned individual on the whole flyer, but yet everybody else is in color. And then there's not just one flyer; there's multiple flyers where the same thing happened. That's kind of.
I didn't know this happened, but I can see there's hardly. I can't. There's no black people in these communities at all. Hardly any. Like, I don't even know what that's about. But
well, you got guys like, I'll just say it, Daryl James going on a show saying like the white race is going to be the savior of mankind because some weird fucking bald dude from an alternate future that sucks that looks just like Mike Pence told him that.
I think he liked one of my pictures. I don't think he just. I think he liked one of my pictures. I think I'm his friend. He doesn't like.
I got mixed feelings about him because I know I like get along with him in person and stuff, and he's just saying what his fucking superior officer said to him and stuff.
That makes no sense. Yeah.
But is he a fucking Nazi? For real, dude. I'm just saying it. I've just said it. I literally asked him, are you a Nazi? And my last correspondence, I was just you should just say it if you are. But if you aren't, let's talk. But if you are, just say it and fuck you, basically, is what I said. And he never responded to me. And that's because I kind of think maybe he is, dude. Like, so I don't know.
I think a lot of these people are more offended at being called Nazis than they are by what Nazis actually believe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know, man. I just try to be real with people. I'm not trying to be a hater. Like, I think his testimony is really important. I've always been really clear about that. But do I agree with everything he says, like politically and shit like that? Absolutely not.
You don't have to. That's the thing. You don't always have to.
I don't have to in order to still respect him as a whistleblower and all that stuff.
And people are going to extremes. People said that because of the shit that he said, that he altered out and he had mental problems. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
and everyone has mental problems, and no one can be trusted. Then
I don't believe that Daryl. I don't want to get into it, but I don't think Daryl James is lying. I don't think he has false memories either. I think he's very trustworthy. Actually, when it comes to his
I have him as a friend now. I went out and I added all those people.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to shit talk. I'm just saying I wouldn't mind talking to him, man, because there is a lot of weird stuff going on with QAnon and white supremacy and Nazis and all this shit. I'm just not gonna not address it. Like, there's this whole thing where, like, it's like you said, they don't like to. The people will be straight up Nazis. It's like, oh, don't call me a Nazi. I'm not a Nazi. It's like, okay, you believe in all the same things that Nazis do, but you're not a Nazi.
Okay. See, if I get around those people, I call them the N-word with the ER just to scramble their field because, like, that's what you think we were.
Can do that.
Because I get the card, and that's why people don't understand.
Play that shit.
I'm using my card for psychological, like, because that's what you're acting like, dude. That's what you thought we were. That's what you're acting like. A Nazi, don't they kind of? Oh, okay. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna piss them off.
All these like homophobic guys who are like, I don't do pronouns, and it's like, oh, so you're Trump. That literally happened to Trump. He's like, I don't do pronouns, and then the interviewer was like, oh, so you're gender fluid.
So you just don't use those words, and the pronoun can never come out of your mouth now, dude. That's how literal I would take it. Like.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Trump like refers to himself in the third person so often, so that he doesn't have to use pronouns.
Don't tell me he's a woman dressed as a man. Is this what we're dealing with, guys?
We did a whole show on that about how Trump's really secretly trans. You can find it.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out. He's pretty. I mean, like, especially back in the day, very
we're
pretty.
Making fun of the people that do that. It's like, I don't know, man. And even if it was true, what fucking difference does it make? I don't know, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
watch it come out as a headline tomorrow, like, and it's like somebody, like, it's like somebody literally got the idea from you.
Oh, that'd be nuts, dude.
They stole your idea, and they're like, yeah, let's type this up.
Yeah, well, I called it on Facebook. Remember, I was like, I bet Trump and Epstein got a little fruity with each other.
Oh yeah, I said that.
It turns out it was Bubba and fucking.
I bet Trump and Epstein got fruity with each other too. I mean, if like Trump is blowing Bill Clinton, like there's no way him and Epstein didn't like fool around and stuff.
Of course, and that would be like that's what we want to cover up. Not, and it's so stupid. You don't want to cover up the children, but Island. You just want to cover up the fact you guys were probably fucking. Like, what the fuck? What?
That's what's really messed up about these people. And we really want to highlight that during the show, that what kind of society do we live in? What kind of world do we live in where these powerful men are more concerned about the fact that they maybe sucked each other off after they did some lines of coke or whatever.
And they still do.
And they were about the fact that they literally raped children. That says a lot about our society.
Yep,
and we need
it
to take
does.
a long, hard look at ourselves. That attitude, that pervasive attitude that does exist, as much as we want to go, la 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 la, doesn't exist.
Exactly.
There are 14 states that have child marriage. La, 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 like,
No, founded on that. Columbus founded this shit on pedophilia and stealing. We could do a bunch
he
of different.
sold children to freaking colonizers.
Exactly. It's just like, so.
9-year-olds.
Even, guys, if you guys didn't know, Africans also sold slaves. So, like, that's. Yeah, we all fucked, like, people just fucked over each other. And then there's pedophiles in every area. It doesn't matter the race. And it gets even worse down when we go to, like, countries that, I don't even want to say it, but, like, countries you can go to fuck children and get away with it.
Yeah, like Thailand and stuff. Yeah, man, it's like a known thing. Like, it's like crazy to me. Like, dude, I'll actually say this. Like, I gotta say this because it comes up. Like, my freaking friend, he works at a factory, and the story was like they're talking about the Philippines lady at the flat factories from the Philippines, and they're just like something like innocent, jovial, and the guy's like, "Oh, I went to the Philippines once." This guy, and they're like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, "Yeah, I went with my friend. Flew back the next day. Didn't stay." They're like, "What? Why?" He's like, "Turns out my friend liked him young, a little too young."
Jeez.
And they're just like, dude, what the? Why'd you tell? And the guy, though, fair play to him, he was traumatized by it. He's like, man, fuck this guy. I'm just dude.
And he probably thought his friend would sleep with younger girls too, so that they could be in on that secret thing.
But,
Like,
he was like, dude, this is fucked up, dude.
That's what I could see that as.
By it, he just flew home right away.
Yeah, well, there's
dude's down there like, oh my god.
Yeah, there seems to be, like, obviously, like, pedo shit is rampant everywhere, but it seems like there's a lot of it that comes out of Australia. Like, that's where fucking Peter Scully was from, and the reason is because the Philippines is a very short, like, flight away from Australia. So, like, these people can, like, have their life in Australia, live in their nice houses or whatever, then just jump on a quick little flight and then go to the Philippines and engage in a little sex trafficking.
Yeah, and that's why flight logs are important. That's why none of that shit makes sense. And if they could have, if they said that Stephen Hawking was one of the first names, which he was dead at the time. I was like, then who the fuck wheeled that nigga in? Who the fuck wheeled him in to get his dick sucked? Who, like, because he can't move by himself. Like, he's so I'm like, can you
one
just?
Of the things that I've said is they have the cloning technology and the node technology and the consciousness transferal, and they have clones of like famous celebrities underneath that island. And Stephen Hawking would wake up in a body that worked, that had working legs and working limbs and a working member, and he would fucking rape women down there. And one of the women that he liked, the woman that he liked the most was Marilyn Monroe, which is why he had a painting of her in his toilet. So every time he fucking
that girl had a picture of Marilyn in her room. I saw a bunch of celebrities, but she had Madonna and a picture of Marilyn, and that's something that's very prevalent across these communities. Those men who like talk about Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, bro. Did you know what happened to her body? Like how her body disappeared, all that shit. It's fucking. I just get.
Hugh Hefner. Like she never even met Hugh Hefner, and she was like mortified when he released those pictures. The fact that he has his fucking grave next to hers, and then there was this other
that's
guy
something that I'm gonna fix
who, like,
someday.
There's this other guy who like bought the grave plot on top of hers, because in the Hollywood Cemetery they're in these like mausoleums, and there was like this guy who like bought a plot above her.
Fucking weird, dude.
And his body was facing down so that he could be on top of her for all eternity. So she's like, even in death, she's like, her grave is like surrounded by these disgusting men. Like,
so
even in her death,
that, along with like roses for Montauk, but also like justice for Marilyn. Like we gotta change that, and justice for Norma Jean.
Yeah.
Well, I really feel like we've had like a healthy conversation about something that's maybe a little bit hard to talk about.
Yep.
Sex, even though everyone has it.
Why is it so hard to talk about that? Because of the trauma. Let's be real. It's because of the pedophilia, and I've experienced it. You talked about experiencing it. It's so common, and it's such a huge problem. And
That's why we'll do to make
So
it
I guess
better.
that's probably where the trauma comes from. And like all we're saying is, yeah, well, how about this crazy concept? Maybe just don't fuck kids.
Yeah.
Or
And
we're good. Like
safe
that's it,
spaces
guys.
from-
That's the only rule you really need to follow. Otherwise, just try to be respectful and have fun and be safe. Like kind of the whole message of the podcast. We could have really it could have been like 10 minutes, but you know what I mean. But like, yeah, we just don't be unblackmailable.
Yep.
If you're into
Yeah,
some fucking
dude.
weird shit, just whatever. Who
And
cares?
also, men, if you see your homie doing fucked up shit, just don't
don't just be
don't
like,
let it
hey,
slide.
yeah, just be like, hey, dude, maybe don't do that. You'd be
Mhm.
surprised how, like, you know, like we care about each other, right?
Yeah.
And we care
Yeah.
about what our homies think about each other. So if your homie's like, yo, maybe
Yeah.
don't be doing that.
And like the sad thing is that a lot of the times people won't take something seriously until it comes from a member of their own group. Like,
Oh,
like a
100.
woman might complain about sexual harassment to her, male partner, and he
Mhm.
might not take it seriously until like a guy says something about it. You know
Or
what I mean?
his sister gets raped or something. Yes, that's
Yeah.
quite literally.
So
It's-
yeah, that's why like men calling out other men when they do fucked up shit and women calling out other women when they do fucked up shit, that's so important because sometimes you can't hear it.
And just do it
unless
early.
it's
Like, and here's
coming from
another
a
thing
member
too:
of your
is like
group.
if you're seeing, the unhealthy behavior and like a kind of predator, rapey kind of guy is pretty easy to see.
Yeah.
And you can call that shit out pretty early if you're a young man, growing up in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's really what I want to try to. If I could do anything, is just give younger men advice. Is just like
And you can
Um,
make safe spaces. I wouldn't do this. I want to implement this into the gaming community because of what I dealt with throughout gaming and pedophilia and shit. So we can, we can.
God damn, yeah. The
Yeah.
gaming community is like a deeply fucked up place for.
Yeah,
a lot
well,
of
look at the
reasons.
Roblox stuff, dude. That shit's crazy. How is that guy? Well, how are they allowed to do some of the things they do?
They've been doing it. It's never not been
Yeah,
that
this
way.
certain
That's so
games
confusing.
on Roblox, and they want it to be 17 plus. Why? Like, what the fuck, dude? That's so weird.
Yeah,
and then
that
it only got knocked down because people were so concerned about it.
Dude, I gotta tell you about that. Reminds me, there's this like game that it was on Steam for a bit. I think they've taken it down.
I know
now,
what you're talking
but,
about.
where you can date like literal children
Mhm.
and this little girls, and the fucked up thing is all the kids are based on this like the child models on this like softcore like CSAM website called like Sugarland or Candyland or something.
Isn't that
like
a fucking game? Like, what
Yeah,
the fuck?
yeah.
See how they overlap shit?
so fucked up. Like and they put it on fucking Steam. I'm pretty sure they've taken
I
it down.
heard
but,
those kind of games
yeah.
are really common in Japan.
Oh yeah, they just made one about an incest. Like it was really fucking bad. They had to take it. People were like rioting to get it taken down, but it was pretty much like you were a dude and you did sexual things to your sister. I don't know if she was but it was like quite literally not. It's a game, bro. Like what the fuck?
And then one thing I'll point out too is like Rick and Morty, like the people that run that show are clearly like not good people because like the one dude got caught fucking with underage girls, and then there's all this mind control programming to like incest mind control programming.
Oh yeah, but that's everywhere too because the creators
Think
of that
about it, like
helped
him
make.
knocking, like the incest baby between him and
Yeah, shit gets.
Summer, and then the episode about him. The whole episodes revolve around him like having to fuck his mom.
Well, there's also
I didn't get. See, I stopped watching it because people said that the weird dude was in the beginning, but now the weird dude's gone and the writing got even more weird. It's just like I feel like you're all just pedophiles and you just pointed a finger at a pedophile you want to get rid of. You know what I mean? That's what they do in these communities. Like I know those same writers made Adventure Time, Steven Universe. They literally make kids movies too. So we're talking Disney as well. We all know this what Disney's known for. It's just like this is
and the thing that I remember from the programs is like Hanna-Barbera had like I guess you'd call like hentai, like cartoon porn.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, anime
stuff. And they would program us with it.
Yep.
Because kids aren't into sex, and that's a way. I don't know. Like,
yeah, that's what they did with Disney Rescuers Down Under. I can name a bunch of shit like that. I remember looking up whenever I was younger. The penis on the Little Mermaid cartoon,
yeah.
like all the little sayings that were in like
I'm
Aladdin.
talking about cartoons that I maybe they're on the dark web or
There's
something.
this like
but,
Saturday Night Live skit called like Anatomicals or something like that, and it's basically like all these like Hanna-Barbera type cartoon characters, except like they got like their junk out and they've got like tits and
that's
like
what it was like.
yeah, it's like really. I remember seeing that as a kid and I was disgusted by
Like
it.
Chowder too. Chowder was always weird. I hated the animation because they were like lazy with it. But like, dude has nipples out. Like I'm like, Flapjack was decent though. If y'all remember Flapjack.
I never watched that one.
Did you watch it, Arkheim? Do you know what I'm talking about, Flapjack?
He had like
Captain
a ship.
Knuckles and the Misadventures of Flapjack. It's like such a twisted. It's not anything like sexual. It's just a dark ass cartoon, honestly, but nothing weird like that.
Well, I think we'll wrap things up here.
Coming up to the top of the hour.
Yeah.
Top of the hour.
Any comments that you want to?
Any questions or anything, everybody? Before we go, I know we had a lot.
Yeah,
of
I'm not even. I don't even want to touch my iPad, so I didn't even know we were live. I forgot, and I don't even know who's all in here. Hi, everyone.
Yep.
I don't know if we even have any questions, really.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna wrap things up. This was kind of just an improv show because of all the weird stuff going on with.
We strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, with Epstein. Yeah, so. But I just want to say, love you all. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna end up and buy my book.
Yep. We should make like T-shirts as merch that say "Be unblackmailable."
Be unblackmailable.
I love that.
Yeah, just like simple like white text on like a black shirt or something. Yeah.
That would be fucking good. We could even do like a white spin-off of like black and white.
Yeah, there you go.
White male. Don't be white mailable either, please.
Yep, exactly.
Well, I'm gonna end the stream. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks.